This is the Lights On Show. My name is Jacob Morset. I'm an honor student at Boise State University, and this is my podcast centered around turning the lights on. I go and talk to day-to-day professionals to learn how they've mastered their craft. We go in-depth on the inner workings of their perspective, their process, and their strategies, all in the hopes of inspiring others. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Lights On Show. We are back again with another interview, or I guess in-depth conversation with someone else. It is Colby Kurle. He's a former schoolmate of mine. He's a year younger than me, so he's still in high school. This is his senior year, and I've known him since my sophomore, his freshman year. We've been in deck. We've had a few classes together. Anyways, pretty cool kid. He'll introduce himself a little bit better, but he is a young entrepreneur, and him and I just talk about his process and his perspective as he's been marketing himself, growing his business, kind of doing his own thing, but while being a student, and the things that he's learned during his e-commerce experience. Also, there's nothing else really new about the podcast this week. I don't know how to explain anything except for getting really close to my move-in date for Boise. So I'm pretty excited about that. But nonetheless, just regular old episode. Hope you guys enjoy. Please be sure to follow me on Twitter for any updates that I need to, relay in the middle of the week. And also share with friends if this helps you. You know, I want to try to continue to help as many people as I can. And also, listen to episodes you haven't and subscribe to get notifications on what times I upload, and also leave a rating on iTunes or whatever platform you're able to do that on. Shows me that I'm doing a good job, and I would really appreciate it. So anyways, here's the episode with Colby Kurle. What's up, Colby? It's been a long time.
How are you, Jacob?
I'm doing pretty good. How you doing? How's the summer treating you?
Pretty good. Had a pretty full August so far with going on vacations and such, but
yeah, it's been a scheduling nightmare for us
definitely.
Trying to link up our schedules, because I was gone at the beginning of summer, and then you were gone now. It's been a long time.
Yeah, we got it worked out eventually.
Yep, as you guys can tell, we are here. So this is Colby. Him and I were in DECA together, and thought he was a pretty cool kid. That's why he's here. So how about we have Colby just introduce himself, explain what he does, and kind of who he is.
All right, yeah, so my name is Colby Kurle. I run a few businesses, and I've run a few businesses throughout the past few years.
He's also a senior in high school.
Yeah, I'm also a senior in high school, and I am doing, along with that, I do a lot of social media marketing, and I, always trying to grow my knowledge on that. But with that, I run a lacrosse business, and what that entails basically is I buy lacrosse equipment, and then I sell it online, and then I market it also through social media, majority of the time being Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram's pretty big. My Twitter kind of sucks, which is, I think I need to go to Instagram. But
Yeah.
It's more like a lot of photo-based stuff, so I feel like when you're doing marketing, though, you can take pictures of it, and then that's where Instagram
Yeah,
is
exactly.
good.
Instagram's definitely, I think, that's my favorite social media marketing, for social media marketing, at least for as a platform itself. Yeah.
So sweet. Anyways, so I've known Colby forever. We've been in DECA forever. And this is pretty cool that he's able to have these experiences as a teenager, kind of building himself up, building up companies, selling stuff, and getting lots of experience, and then hopefully giving people, good deals or whatever, just giving people what they need.
Exactly. That's a banging thing with business. You're providing a solution or something that allows the consumers, something that will fulfill the consumers, knowing that they're getting a product that's going to help them or make their lives easier. So
yeah. All right, so right into the main topic of this episode. Obviously, most students, especially senior year, I was feeling it. I have no doubt that you feel it. But how do you manage your time? How do you manage that work-life, school balance between you have school, you have clubs, you play lacrosse, DECA, which DECA does kind of consume a lot of time if you're doing the written projects, and your companies. How do you manage that?
Yeah, so like you kind of said, you mentioned a few of the things that I do. Large portion of it that takes up is school, of course. So with school, a lot of the times I'll try to do a majority of my work during actual school and
like during lunches, study sports.
Yeah, exactly. And I try to keep as much as that I can in school and not outside of it, but I'll also, if I have to, I'll bring it outside. But with that also, I like to lacrosse. That will take up 2 hours of my day or so. But
Easy.
And then I got DECA, of course, and that takes up a lot of time with written projects and such, being able to figure out everything that I need to be able to make it and hopefully qualify for nationals again.
Yeah. So, but like, how do you so you talk about that the way you manage your schoolwork is just by cramming it, trying to get everything you need done during school. So does that then, by doing that, that opens you up for those extracurriculars? So like when you get home, instead of doing homework, you do something with your business, and then you have lacrosse practice, and you got to go to lacrosse practice, and then after that, maybe you have to write a DECA project. Is that kind of how it works, since you are able to squeeze the school stuff into your school time?
And with a lot of it being with my business being online, I could do a lot of it also while I'm in school. So
because it's e-commerce.
Yeah, if an order is made, I also do like I'll go to local events and stuff and sell products. Sometimes at tournaments I'll set up a vendor and I will sell products, but a majority of it is e-commerce. So ultimately, if someone orders something online on the site, I can see that, okay, I just had 3 orders today. I can fulfill these when I get home. I can just print out the shipping labels, throw them in a box or throw them in a package really fast. And then I can get that done with, as well as each day I usually like to keep my social medias fresh. I would like to post multiple photos. Now, I don't always do that consistently depending on what that is.
What's happening.
But yeah, ultimately a lot of it is e-commerce, so I can do it throughout the day. Even it could be 10 o'clock at night. That's not really good for posting, at least because you won't get as much engagement on your photos. And
but if it's there, you can do it. So then, like, do you schedule your time, or you just kind of go with the flow and see whatever you're able to do? Because like when I was jam packed with my schedule, I would have my calendar and like a planner, like a day-to-day planner, and I try to give myself time blocks. So do you see yourself doing that, or are you just kind of off the whim kind of guy?
Yeah, so I think you're definitely a lot more organized than me. A lot of my stuff is like, I have more of a set to date things that I have to do, and I have those kind of in my head. So I kind of have an in my head calendar that I'm doing things. So if I'm for example, if I know I usually post at around 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock, because that's when it gets a lot of engagement.
A lot of people are
so
ready to go.
I just know that around that time, I usually post a photo on each of my accounts, because I do have multiple. A few of them, I'll give you one, which is like Lacrosse Heaven, at Lacrosse Heaven on Instagram, that has like 18,000 followers. So with that, often we'll just post. I need to post usually about 2 or 3 times to keep my followers active and keep my engagement up. But then also with more of my business side of my account, which is at Untamed Lacrosse, and with that, I'm more posting my product side of it. But with those 2 accounts, I can, of course, advertise from one to the other if I'm wanting to kind of intermingle them together.
And then so most of the time though, it's just off the whim. You're just kind of I guess that'll work.
Yeah. So it's kind of both. I got it all set in my head of when I need to do certain things, but I will write down things occasionally in the notes of my phone and look at, all right, I need to get this done today. I need to get this done today. Yeah.
So how have you grown your business? So what are some tips and things you've learned while you've gone about this? Because obviously, like you said, you have 18,000 subscribers now. That's pretty good for a lacrosse reseller. That seems kind of. So how do you go from 0 followers to a ton? You already talked about like that consistency, but that's just on your social media platform. How have you dealt with actually building inventory, actually getting people to buy your products, like your markups, your suppliers? Like, how have you built that? And like, what are some tips you would maybe give to someone who's trying to start on their own in a similar e-commerce type situation?
Yeah, so a lot of it is actually networking. That's definitely a big thing for me, is networking with other businesses and stuff. So that's how I found my who actually gets me all my products, because I don't actually go directly to the manufacturer. I'm actually going through a different sub person who gets the equipment from the manufacturer, so I can sell my price points at whatever I want, because I'm not directly
and because you're your own guy.
Yeah, exactly. So if you're getting your equipment from manufacturers, you have to sell it a MSRP.
Yeah.
So with that, a normal lacrosse set is $90. So therefore, the retailers who get it from the manufacturers have to sell it at that $90.
Like Dick's or Walmart,
Yeah,
or whatever.
exactly.
Okay.
So I actually get it from someone else, so I can sell my price points for a lot cheaper, and I can undercut everyone else, which is good because I'm also, and for me as a kid, I don't need to be making these huge margins. I'm not a business. I don't have a bunch of other.
You're only paying yourself.
Yeah, I'm only paying myself, so I don't have a bunch of employees and stuff that I have to pay.
Yeah, benefits and all that other garbage.
Yeah, exactly.
So then, like you said, so you get your supplier. Your supplier's like just some dude.
Yeah.
Who sells to you. So, and I don't remember what I was watching, but I remember hearing this. He's talking about networking, and a lot of people, like, the common saying is like it's all about who you know. It's all about who you know,
Yes,
right?
yes.
It's not just about, it's about who knows you. Because you can know the guy that supplies you all you want, but if he doesn't understand what you are to him, there's no deal.
Yeah.
And I think it's something that's more important to understand than who do you know.
They need to know why there's benefits of both sides, not just
why should they keep the relationship,
Yeah, why should they keep the relationship going, and why should they trust you as someone instead of going to the next guy?
Because obviously you can trust whoever you want.
Yeah,
but they have to choose to trust you. Absolutely.
Of course.
How about with you expanding, right? Because you say that, obviously you didn't start with an order every day.
Yeah.
How have you dealt with receiving more and more orders as the time? Because you've been doing this for a couple of years now.
Yeah, I've been doing it for a couple of years, and I've split into different things. I've gone into, even for a little while, I actually went into football too. I was trying to do
like pads and helmets and stuff.
It wasn't really more products. It was more of selling, like doing camps and stuff for kids. So they'd come in, and then we brought in.
Oh yeah, because your dad was the Eagles football coach. So
yeah, exactly.
You were helping him out with that.
Well, it wasn't even that. He was more of helping me. But yeah, he knew, because he's got a ton of contacts in the football world, of course. So we picked up a few, and we did camps. That didn't run very well. So it actually went pretty good, but it could have grown better. So, but going on to more of lacrosse, yeah, it's definitely a networking thing. And I would say for lacrosse, most of the time it's just figuring out, and a lot of it is I know people that are near here that help me out with it too, and they're buying products, so locally that helps. But then e-commerce side, it's just posting every day.
Yeah, you just post every day. You get a shipment to go in, you just, all right, I gotta go print this label, I gotta go package this up, send it in, whatever you send it in.
Yep.
Have you faced any specific struggles, maybe besides networking, or maybe what were some struggles that you found in networking that you were able to overcome, or even with your social media branding? What are some trials or struggles that you faced while trying to expand that you would like to share that maybe helped in your process of doing that?
Yeah, so one that I'm going to go off a little bit off of lacrosse, but I'm going to talk about a new business that I've been trying to work out, and I've been doing. It's the one that I've actually done for DECA, but it's the multi-vendor e-commerce site, and what that is it's basically an eBay for all you listeners that aren't familiar with it. And so different sellers, I'm not the one selling, I'm just providing a platform where all sellers can go onto the site, they can post their items, and other people can buy it. So I'm just providing a platform flat. With that, I'm taking a fee and stuff. So I don't have this built yet, but I'm still building it right now. So I recently built the site, and it cost me about $3,000 or so, but I'm working on it, and I hit kind of a stump of where I was like, I don't know where to go next. It's like, I know I have to, of course, get licensed and stuff, but where do I go after I build the site and have it all set up? Do I move on to getting accounts so I can advertise it, or
so basically trying to find people to actually use your site?
So it's a stump right now that I'm trying to figure out, and I'm sure everybody has that, to where they're like, I got all this that I know to, but this is where, do I outsource? Do I have to outsource and go on and try to find other people to help me run this company, or how do I go about doing that?
So those are all good questions. So what about with your lacrosse? So I think a good point maybe to try to anchor off of is that you talked about how you upload consistently. So what are some other things that you've done or that was hard at first that you've been able to like overcome, like with the business that you already have set up that's doing pretty well, like, or has it pretty much just been straightforward for you? You just talk to people buy your stuff, and you just been able to kind of go along the flow.
Yeah, so a lot of it is I've also, the only thing I can think of off the top of my head is I've moved to different platforms than just my website. So there's other sites such as like eBay, Sideline Swap,
Yeah.
all those ones that are
And then you also go to actual
venues.
events too. So
Yes.
it's kind of like just this understanding, like, hey, I can go sell there. I can go sell there. You know, kind of
Yeah.
like that's something that you kind of had to realize in.
Yeah, so I figured out there's different spots than just online that I can go to, and even just online, I mean just like my website. I figured out that I can go on eBay and all these different platforms. I might not be making as much money because I'm having to pay the fees and stuff.
But money's
But
money.
it's still worth it because I just still have inventory coming in, so it's not like I'm losing the product. I'm still gonna have more coming in anyways, so it makes it worth it. And with the going to venue side of it, it's also it's very profitable too because it's a cash business. So we'll just leave that there. But
yeah,
yeah,
no Daddy Trump.
Yeah,
Absolutely. So, you've had this freaking lacrosse business for like 4 years, right? Like since like freshman. I think you write your DECA project freshman year with it.
Yeah, I wrote my DECA project with it, made it to nationals somehow. But
but so obviously, and where I wanted to start with that is that you've been doing this for 4 years.
Yeah.
What keeps you going at it? Like, why do you still keep going? Like, what is motivating you to continue growing it, to start up new businesses? Like, why?
Yeah, so a lot of it is like lacrosse may not be like I still do it here and there occasionally, and it is still
it's a passion of yours. It's so fun.
The lacrosse business is more of a passion for me. I don't make a killer I don't make killer amounts of money off of it. That's why. But business itself, just I don't know. There's something to it that it's like it's starting my own thing, and I know that it's like it's my thing. If I fail on it, then I know that it's me that failed. I know it's not somebody else that affected the cause, and I know there's no outcomes to it besides what had caused me to fail at it.
It's like being your own boss.
Yeah,
you get to dictate what you do. You get to learn your own stuff. You're just kind of walking around with your balls out, doing whatever you want.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I know exactly how I'm gonna grow, and if I fail, then I know that's why I failed. Yeah.
And so it's just fun for you. It's better than working around tables. Like that's what's keeping you going. It's the fact that you can.
It's fun, and it's things that I want to do, and I actually find it very fascinating learning the different techniques of just business, and I like learning different types of business specifically. Like I like learning how actual like physical locations work, how they run, and how they advertise their company, how they get customers into an actual physical brick and mortar store compared to like how people just do like e-commerce sites and like tons of different things. I like just watching YouTube videos on it and learning how people make money off of just doing YouTube or make money off of doing Shopify stores, whether that's, all those scammy things are real or not.
But I mean, money's money.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, what are some things owning your own business at such a young age has taught you that you think you might not have gotten otherwise?
Yeah, so I think the best thing as being so young and running a business is if you fail. I've already mentioned this a few times, but if you fail, it doesn't really matter that you failed. You're a kid. You can still bounce back and you can still do better. So I've learned
and you can learn from it too. Yeah. Like you have time to learn, improve, readapt, and adapt,
Yeah, so I've learned that failure is not actually something that is bad. It is something that you can learn with and you can grow and go off of that, and you can change and make things better off of it.
All right, so obviously you market a lot for yourself. Kind of walk me through how you're doing that. How are you doing your marketing? How are you actually able to put yourself out there and make money?
Yeah, so the business side of it, a lot of it, at least for engagements, if you're looking at for lacrosse specifically, a lot of it is followers. When you post a photo, you have, of course, your actual followers. And with those, within like the first hour, that's when Instagram really takes your engagements and they decide whether or not they want to put it on the Explore page. So with that, that's where your hashtags and of course come into. So a large thing with getting engagements and getting your posts onto Explore pages, which is that's the main way of getting new customers, is because it goes onto the Explore page, so new people can find you, because you're not going to be growing anywhere unless you basically get onto there, or word of mouth, so someone tells you about
which word of mouth is a lot slower.
Yeah, word of mouth is a lot slower, but if you get onto Explore page, of course, with that. But the way you do that is within the first hour. That's why if you go onto large accounts on Instagram, you'll see pretty much all of them ask a question. So the reasoning why they're asking a question is because they want people to comment on their posts and they want them to engage with their posts. That's what Instagram's algorithm is basically looking for. They want to see not always has to be controversial, but they want to find items and content that people are going to engage in, and they're going to stay on their site, Instagram, because they have ads, they make money off of them. Yeah, so they want people to be on their site as long as they can. So they're trying to find things that will engage their customers and keep them on the site itself. So a lot of times, like for me, for lacrosse, I'll be like, what's your number? Like your jersey number, of course,
which is obviously in the sports field is kind of like a hype thing. Oh, I'm number one.
Or
stupid stuff like that.
It doesn't even have to be. And a lot of times, sometimes it'll be related to the post. Sometimes it'll be related, like completely kind of just related to lacrosse. So it's not even at all related to the post. But with that, all you're doing is trying to engage the audience and trying to get them to post comments as well as like the photos. But with that, getting it fast is the best, because then you'll get on it early. But there is also times where sometimes your posts will be like 2 weeks later, it'll somehow go viral. Like I've had posts that have had like only like 4,000 views, but then all of a sudden, like 2 weeks later, they just go on the Explore page for some reason and end up getting like 200,000 views. It's crazy.
That's a lot of customer flow for a lacrosse page, man. That 200,000, that's crazy. So talk more about, you talked about hashtags. What kind of hashtags do you use? How do you develop them? Like, do you consciously think about what is going to be the best for the algorithm, and what are those? Yeah, so for lacrosse, and there's totally different hashtags for every single different category for businesses and stuff. But for lacrosse, I actually have just in the notes on my phone, I have a set, I think it's like probably 40 hashtags or something that I just have set onto the on my notes. So I'll copy and paste it, and then I'll just dash them down. Either I'll put them in my comments or I'll put them in my actual description. So there's actually a thing where I don't actually know which one's better, but both people, I've kind of watched videos on it and read about it. There's actually they don't have a proven whether or not it's better to have it in description or your comments, but I believe it. That was crazy.
I believe it works in both of them.
Okay. So how about you share some of those hashtags that you have?
Yeah, so mine they're just simple,
like hashtag lacrosse,
generic hashtag. They're just hashtag lacrosse, hashtag lax, which is an abbreviation for lacrosse. Lacrosse heads, lacrosse moms, like it's just random stuff that has to do with lacrosse.
So then I guess for other people that are maybe doing other business stuff, it's that simple but stupid kind of hashtags we're looking for. Like if you're doing, I don't know, McDonald's, maybe do hashtag like it's just stupid. Like hashtag hamburgers, hashtag cheese, hashtag greasy food, hashtag obesity, like something stupid like that.
That's why you'll see all those accounts that just do the like viral food videos and stuff. You'd be surprised how much money people can make off of just doing viral posts. For example, like I was reading, what was it? It was some account that's just a viral food account, and they will they just post viral foods. But McDonald's like paid them to post a picture of chicken nuggets, and they got like $10,000 just for that one post.
Just for some chicken nugget post.
I mean, granted, they had probably like, I think it was like 1.5 million followers or something.
Still, though, think about the amount of effort it takes to, after you've built up an audience, just make money off of it, right? And it's different than like a YouTube channel or a podcast channel where you're constantly producing a product. Like I have to make an outline. I have to schedule this thing with you. I have to sit down, do the interview, sit down at my desk, put my intro over it, edit it down, and then release it, versus just getting a huge following after figuring out some stupid Instagram algorithm, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say for the most part, it's actually fairly easy once you get to a certain follower point. If you have the right, lacrosse is not very expandable, just because it's
not really that popular.
It's not very popular of a sport. But for example, if you're in now, most of the good names and stuff are taken for sports like basketball, football, and all those ones.
Yeah.
But if somehow you had a good name and you had decent content, if you're posting consistently and you keep doing it, once you get past the 10,000 follower point, it's a lot easier to go viral, because like how I mentioned earlier,
you're always on the Explore
you have
page.
Followers and they comment really fast, so you get put onto there's now like those subcategories on the Explore page for Instagram, so they have like separate like sports categories that are on the Explore page. So you can get onto those pretty easily once you get past like the 10,000 follower point. So that's where you'll see these companies that are like super, like they were somewhat small, but then all of a sudden they just hit this big growth spurt of where they just get a lot more followers, and where then their business expands too. And if they're smart about it, that's why I see so many accounts that don't monetize their accounts. Like I see these makeup accounts and stuff. It's like you could easily just create a drop shipping account where you just have like, I don't even know what makeup things you could do, but for example, you could easily just create a drop shipping account and have that makeup, and then you just say, link in my bio, you can go and pick up this item or whatever.
Oh yeah, you see those on like, I know what you're talking about though, back when I used to use that. But for sure, like that's such an easy way, especially when you get that much flow, and like the millennial consumer that most of these Instagram companies are trying to advertise for, totally eat that stuff right up.
Yeah, and it's a simple thing. It's nothing really hard. You can, every single thing in business now is you can just look up videos on YouTube. It's not that, whether your main thing is just if you find it interesting and if you can keep with it. But every single thing that you could want to learn like about business, you can pretty much watch on YouTube.
Yeah,
it's accessible to just about anybody.
Well, and like you talked about, like getting into a business that you like or that you think is cool, you can also do that. Like you have a lacrosse business, you like lacrosse, boom. Someone likes makeup, you can make up your own stupid makeup brand. If you like selling soccer balls, you could go sell soccer balls. You can literally almost make a business out of any and everything. Anything that you're passionate about. If you love mowing lawns, you really could just start picking up a lawnmower, go make a little, it would be e-commerce, but you would just set up a website, set up a social media account around your area, get all the local, families to pay you money to go.
Yeah, pay you $30 or something to go mow their lawn.
Like it's so, and I actually, I don't know, I think it may have been Fits in the Morning or that, like the Bull, I don't have
radio shows.
The radio shows, but like, I don't have an aux cord in my car because it's a 2002 Jeep Wrangler, so I have to listen to the radio. It kind of sucks. But they were talking about how it was kind of weird that the main guy liked mowing his lawn, and so like people really do like mowing their lawns. They like doing weird stuff. Like everyone's different, and you can really just take anything, like you said, go to YouTube, try to figure out how to do the base structure, and then just take off with it.
Yeah, so I'd say that's the main thing for if you want to start a business, find something that you love, find something that you're passionate about. Yeah, that's what's going to keep you going and make sure that even if you're
even if you get stuck, you want to continue going.
If you're not growing as much, then you'll still want to be keeping going and stay with it because you actually like what you're doing, you're passionate about it. And that's the main thing. If you don't see the growth, keep going with it. Eventually, it's funny how people won't realize this. You'll have one connection point, whether that's a person you meet, a post that goes viral.
Dude, you're like a 14-year-old boy.
I know. A post that goes viral or something like that.
Yeah, but for sure. Especially like you said, like you had posts that are 2 weeks old. You would have never thought, man, that's never going to go viral, or that's never going to go on the Explore page. is on the Explorer. Stuff happens all the time. You never know what algorithms actually are. You never know how people are going to respond. You just kind of keep chugging along. What's that? There's that one song. She thinks my tractor is sexy, and he goes, she's like, and then in like the middle of the song, he's like, while I'm chugging along. I love that song. It's so funny. Anyway, so kind of wrapping this up, onto the quick questions. So these are 3 questions I ask every single person I interview. What/who inspires you the most, and why?
I would say, at least for me, I'm just watching videos and stuff. I'd say probably Elon Musk is one of my.
He inspires you?
Yeah, I'd say he inspires me. For just business, he has different categories and he goes into so many different things. And I know he has failed before and he's been criticized before, but he'll pick it up and he'll go to different things and grow. I'm mostly motivated by myself. I have self-motivation, and I hope that everybody else would. That's something that I think everybody should find.
Yeah, everyone should be able to be like, tell themselves, like, dude, I'm freaking awesome. I'm going to keep killing this.
Yeah. For
sure. So that sounds really interesting, though, because like you said, you have Elon Musk, who has, he's failed, picked himself back up again, and then just completely shreds the game right now.
Yeah.
And you talked so much about how you being your own boss, you can make your own, like, and you were very like serious, like, dude, I can make my own failures. I understand it's me. So it's kind of cool to be able to see that connection between Elon Musk doing that and then you doing that. And obviously that whole motivation thing is like, it's a huge part. I don't think enough people like can do that. And that really sucks because, I don't know. It's just sad to see people not understand what every human has the ability to do. You know, it's kind of, and you're just kind of like, man, you're kind of an idiot, man. And you want to slap them across the face, but you can't do it because you're, in public. Anyway, so what's one short-term thing you would invite the people listening to do before they go to bed? Not obviously specifically before they go to bed, because some people may listen to a podcast before they go to bed. But like, it's just kind of a short-term commitment thing, like you can do in a day. You can do it like one time. It's like whatever. Some people have said, I don't know, go make your bed or something. Like, people just make up stupid stuff. So, what's one thing that you've done or that you think is cool or would be cool to have as a short-term commitment?
I'd say as a short-term goal, I'd say every single day. Well, this is kind of a long-term, but also a short-term.
We'll see how it works out.
I'd say every single day, write down something that either you want to have as a goal or you want to be able to do. Write that down. I think it will stick into your mind more, and I think you'll be reminded by it. Maybe put it on a whiteboard or put it on.
Yeah, I was just about to ask that. So what do you mean by write down? Do you mean have it be like in your face written down, or have it be like in your notes on your phone where it's there if you need it, but it's hidden, or like a scrap piece of paper you throw it away? Like what would you recommend specifically for that?
If you can, have it be in your face, but I mean, it doesn't really matter. Just something that's going to be able to, something that you look at every day that's going to remind you.
So like partially in your face.
Yeah. Okay. So whether that does, if it's in the bathroom or if it's in your room somewhere, just somewhere that you're going to see it every single day, and it's going to remind you why you're going for that goal and why you want to do that, or why you want to be able to be a better basketball player or be a better
whatever,
grow your business. Yeah. Exactly.
So what about, I guess that is kind of a short-term thing, because you could probably do it for a short amount of time, see if you liked it.
Yeah.
What about maybe a long-term thing? Like, I mean, this could be a month, this could be a year. Like, what's something that you sustainably do as an individual, as Colby Kurle? What do you sustainably do that is like kind of a thing that you do that's awesome?
Yeah, so I'd say same thing, kind of going off of that, but I'm going to go different ways. Actually going and doing that goal, being proactive, and actually, if that thing is a very hard thing to do, is actually stay with it and do it short term. You don't have to do it all in one day. You don't have to become a scientist in one day. You learn and you do these different things every single day that help you become
the person you want to be.
Yeah. So it doesn't happen in a day. You got multiple days that you're able to do it, and you got, especially if you're a kid.
I was just about to say, especially if you're young, you have lots of time to do whatever you want to do. You have lots of time to explore, to see what kind of things you actually can accomplish. Because, I mean, you're a senior high school and you're working on multiple businesses. Who's to say that every senior can't do that? Obviously, the market will be flooded. But, you know what I mean? Like, it's that same concept of we're all capable of doing awesome things.
Yep.
Well, that's pretty cool. So you got anything left to say before we do the ending high five, which I have not done the past couple episodes, but I will try to keep remembering to do it. It's like a celebratory high five I do at the end. Like, it's my way of having a less awkward see ya. You know what I mean? Because like, I feel like sometimes like you gotta have like a staple like outro, and my outro is just a high five.
So I'd say as the last thing to everybody, I would just say if you're still listening, definitely just go out and do it. There's no one stopping you. It's only yourself. So just break that bridge or break that wall that's in your mind that's stopping you from doing it, and just go do it.
Yeah. All right, cool. We're going to do a high five. There you go. And we're out.